Okay, so what we're going to do now is just going to finish off the tweaking of the animation. So I'll give you a playback of where we are right now. We've got a nice little walk cycle there. Now what I'm going to do is just add some rotation to the hips. So if I first, you're just going to watch to see where it dips. It dips down around frame 8. So I just hit E on the hips. And bring it back up to at frame 15. So if I go to middle mouse, frame 15, same key, that brings back my rotations. Sorry, back to 0. Go to frame 24. I'm going to just take middle key from frame 24, frame 8 to frame 24, do save. Frame 1 to frame 30, do save. And if I play through, but you can see obviously it's dipping on the same side, so frame 24 you need to have it rotate on the other side. There we go, and just play. And if anything, frame 30, what we can do is take the keyframe from frame 29, put it to frame 30 and do set key. A bit smoother, and to counterbalance the hips you need the head to have its own rotation, or at least the top half of her body to sway in the opposite direction. Now I haven't got a I haven't got a control node, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add another control node. So I'm going to go spacebar, top view. I'm just going to switch off auto keyframe. I'm going to say create NURBS circle. Just going to draw one out here. Okay, spacebar, perspective. The perspective view. I'm just going to hit W just to move it up. I just want to position it. Actually, if I just translate the positions to in the X to 0 and in the Z to 0, that's going to be perfectly zeroed out but in the right position. And I just want to have it linked. I'm going to just link it to the Z needs to be zeroed out. I'm just going to have it orient on that middle joint just between the clavicle, the base of the neck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this orientation constrained to this node. So I selected that joint. I'm going to select that node. I'm going to say, in fact, actually, before I do that, let me just zero out that node. So I want to say I'm just trying to find, there we go, freeze translations, and do file save, and then I'm going to select that join there, hold down shift, select that control node, and I'm going to say, make sure I'm in animation, I'm going to say constrain, orient, option box, constrain all, apply, close. And then let's give this one a control name. This one's called hip rotate node, and call this one shoulder control node. or shoulders. CT control node. There we go. And so if I now gonna hit Auto key, if I just do it E just to see if I can rotate it. Okay, still nothing happening. Let's try that again. Nope. So I need to constrain it the other way because it's actually not constrained. So just select that. Select the controller and just say constrain. Remove target. Let's try that again. So this time node joint and say constrain orientation apply. Okay, hit that one. There we go. So in fact it is working, but I've constrained it to the neck. So Control Z that. It's still a valid node, so I'm going to just move it down slightly. I'm going to constrain it to the bone just below. So again, control node, the one just below the neck. I'm going to say constrain orientation apply. If I select it and rotate, hit E. There we go. So it's actually picking at the top of the chest and some of the arms. So we might need to go through and just check some of the weighting as well, but yeah, that's not too bad. So what I can do is I'm going to leave that one in there, and I'm going to actually create, no, in fact, you know what, let's break that one. Let's just constrain remove target. So click on that one, constrain remove target. Oops, sorry. Constrain remove target. Oops, so let's go again. That one, constrain, and let's actually move it down even further. And let's position it, and let's constrain it to that joint. So that joint, and I'm going to just hit E just to see what this joint controls. There you go, that'll do it. Yeah, so that one, control node, constrain orientation apply, close that. And now with my auto key back on, just going to play through the animations just to see nothing's changed. I'm going to hit S to keyframe it. I'm going to go to frame 8, which is the one sway, and I'm going to just hit, where is it, plus, just to make my axis rotation a little bit bigger. Let's make it a little bit smaller. There we go. There you go. So I'm just going to keyframe this at frame 8 in the other direction. There we go. Go to frame 1. Keyframe that at frame 15. Frame 24. Keyframe the other direction. And frame 1, keyframe frame 30. Hit play. And we got the counterbalance swing. Can you see it? And then I'm just gonna hit save. I'm gonna do that a little bit more. So sorry, mate. So where you've got 1, frame 8, go that way. Frame 15 brings it back. In fact, I should actually, what I'm going to do is just hold down shift and middle mouse that to frame 16 and then frame 24, keyframe to the other side. Oh come on, sorry, it's just got a bit crazy there. And then last but not least, I'm gonna add another control node just for the neck. So I'm gonna go perspective, top view again, create NURB circle. I'm gonna just position that at 0, 0, 0, tab 0, and per space, oops, space perspective. Just going to move it up in the I should switch off the animation node there. I actually want this one to control not the base of the neck but the base of the head. So I'm just going to put it there, and let's go back to frame 1. I'm going to freeze that transformation so that one, and I'm going to say control node joint, and I'm going to say constrain orientation apply. There we go. And just test it by hitting E. There we go, it controls the head. And now I'm going to do save keyframe, auto key, and now what I need to do is just, this one goes that way, so we got 8, and at frame 8 we can just slightly, not too much, frame 16, bring it back, frame 24, frame 8 is going to be frame 24, save keyframe, frame 1 is going to be frame 30, save keyframe. Now I want to take frame 29 and middle mouse it to frame 30 and hit save keyframe again. So it's a little bit in fact, you know, it's, if I just shift keyframe to the 16 and say delete that keyframe, so it's got a little bit of clearness, a little bit of pacing that needs to go on here, not much, but obviously you can see the arms need to match. I mean, there could be at frame 8 a little bit of twist, so I could start adding in some, start adding in some twist. Actually, that one's, so here we go, we got some twist there that we can add. Oops, you gotta be really careful that you don't at this stage screw it up. Okay, so it now comes down to just pure finessing and polish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stop that one. I'm going to do file, save scene as, example 26. Let's switch off the shading, and if you hit play now, it's all about just polish. Obviously you can see there's a little bit of twist and motion I need to add to it. A little bit of a click in the legs, but is this, you can actually remove all that just by more practice and polish and iteration on it. If you go to the, if I hit stop there, there we go. If you hit spacebar and go to the function curves, or graph editor function curves, and just select the joints that you're moving, so obviously things like the rotation on the hips, rotation on the neck. You can see they're pretty smooth splines and we can add more to them. Okay, that's basically animation. Also, if you find that there's any pinching or weird weighting issues, you've got the luxury of going all the way back to frame 0, which is the T stance, which allows you to do more testing, or you can actually just play it through and check where it might be pinching and alleviate those with some weighting, add in new weighting values. Okay.